On Sunday, figures compiled by local media showed Sal's coalition called United for One Hope had won 100 out of the 150 seats up for grabs. This victory does not come as a surprise because Senegalese seem to want to help their new president to govern correctly.
The Senegalese wanted to be coherent. They elected their president, then they wanted to give him a majority in parliament so he could rule better. The four biggest political parties in the country belong to the president's coalition, so they are united. That's why he got the majority.
A majority win by Sal's coalition is crucial to him to be able to carry out the policies of his new government. There was a low turnout for the legislative elections on Sunday, 3 months after Macky Sall won the presidency. Initial figures showed participation Sunday was only around 37%.
We must ask if this kind of mixed election, a proportional majority one, is the best one. Does it mobilize enough people? We must all question the attitude of the Senegalese. Why did they act this way?
Sall inherited a National Assembly filled with lawmakers from the former ruling party. Sunday's election is set to put more women than ever in Parliament, thanks to a 2010 law that requires gender equality on party lists. Official election results are expected on Monday.
Malians are outraged by the demolition of the world-famous Timbuktu shrine by radical Islamist group the Ansar-Din. Pickaxe-wielding Heartland militants pulled down centuries-old shrines, destroying everything that once stood as the few great World Heritage Sites in the West African country. The militants remain defiant, calling the reverence of shrines un-Islamic. Let's look at this report for more on that rather disturbing development.
A few blows with a pickaxe and centuries of history disappear. 7 out of the 16 mausoleums in Timbuktu in northern Mali were destroyed over the weekend by the hardline Islamist group Ansar-Din. This Islamist group that took control of Timbuktu and the rest of northern Mali 3 months ago considered the shrines to be un-Islamic in their very strict interpretation of the religion.
The height of these mausoleums is more than it should be. This is not right. That is why we are destroying them. People risk worshipping something that is prohibited, that goes against our religion.
Malians have been forced to sit by and watch the destruction of these shrines, unable to stop the armed men. On Thursday, the United Nations Cultural Agency, UNESCO, put Timbuktu on its list of endangered World Heritage Sites. Following the announcement, Ansar-Din began demolishing the shrines. Ansar-Din is also smashing up mosque, and the sacred door of the Sidi Yayi Mosque has been destroyed. The destruction is particularly painful for the people of the Manding ethnic group. These people built the powerful Mali Empire, and Timbuktu was its religious city.
We can only get angry at the slow reaction by Africans. I'm thinking about ECOWAS, I'm thinking about the African Union. I don't agree that Western countries should come here and protect our culture as we sit and watch. Everyone must stand up now and fight against what's happening in northern Mali.
Other treasures in Timbuktu are also in danger, including tens of thousands of ancient manuscripts. Mali and UNESCO are calling on the international community for help in stopping the destruction, but so far to no avail.
From West Africa to East Africa, there are massive celebrations in the Great Lakes region, with neighbors Burundi and Rwanda marking 50 years of nationhood. Over 15 heads of state are expected to attend the celebrations in Burundi. In Rwanda, President Paul Kagame slammed former colonial master Belgium for fomenting discord between Tutsis and majority Hutus at the dawn of independence. We have details in this report.
Against the rhythm of African drums, a big parade at the National Stadium in the Burundi capital, Bujumbura. Celebrations are being held marking the 50th anniversary of independence. With a lick of paint and cleaned up streets, the city's been spruced up for the arrival of VIPs, including some 15 heads of state. Also present, Crown Prince Philip and other representatives from ex-colonial power Belgium.
This is the sovereignty of our country. All people in Burundi are in love with peace and justice.
After the civil war and massacres, the government of Pierre Nkurunziza says it's on the road to national reconciliation. But some human rights campaigners remain unconvinced by this line.
It's a regime which kills and imprisons opponents and prevents political parties from operating.
Meanwhile, in adjacent Rwanda, festivities are also being held, this time without the presence of any dignitaries from Belgium. They weren't invited. In his speech, President Paul Kagame accused the former colonialists of promoting division between Hutus and Tutsis on the eve of independence. It's a time for introspection, he says.
We must build on the lessons of our forebears across Africa that demonstrated the values of sacrifice, courage, and resilience during their quest for independence.
In Rwanda, July 4th is Independence Day and marks the end of the genocide and accession to power of the Rwanda Patriotic Front.
From that, we take our second break. We'll be right back.
Discover the smiling coast of Africa.
Over to sports. Members of the National Interdepartmental Sport Association are gearing up for the forthcoming sports festival, set to coincide with celebrations marking the anniversary of the July 22nd revolution. Well, as part of efforts to ensure unhindered flow of relevant information, the organizers recently launched a media subcommittee to help in that regard. Ndaibuso has the details.
The National Interdepartmental Sports Association (NISA) is set to host their Senegalese counterparts as part of events marking this year's anniversary of the July 22nd revolution. For the past years, NISA executive and departmental football champions have been traveling to Senegal for the regional championship. 14 regions from Senegal and 4 departments in the Gambia will take part in the event that will showcase 11 different sports.
We have 14 Senegalese regions that are coming to the Gambia from July 21st to the 26th to join their counterparts here in the Gambia, the National Interdepartment Sports Association. We have a long history with the Senegalese, our counterparts in Senegal. We've been going there and having, consultation and having sports and other exchange visits with them. And that has been, very fruitful. This time around, we said NISA is going to host them for the 2012.
The aim of the media committee is to help advance the aims and objectives of the upcoming sub-regional championship, and the NISA Secretary General is hopeful that the team will live up to expectation.
If we have to advance our aims and objectives towards this sub-regional championship, we have to do it together with the journalists in this country. Senegal have been doing it that way, and we are very cognizant of those facts. Basically, we're just happy to have you here. I know you have forwarded 8 names, and then among us, we have our 2 PROs, Pamodu Fall, who is Observer, and Sol Baji. For GRTS, who we have in the media committee added to your 8 to make it 10.
The participation of sports journalists in this important event is crucial, and the association's president believes her members will deliver.
Facilitate a cordial relationship between the participating regions and also among our colleagues from Senegal. So that is my contribution, and also wish NISA good luck on their turn to host this sub-regional event.
NISA PRO Pamodu Fall thanked journalists for honoring their invitation.
I know the work starts